What's up, everybody? This is the Houston Film Fanatics. Thank you for checking out our podcast today. We've got some awesome stuff that we're going to be talking about. We'll be doing reviews for Hector and The Search for Happiness. We will be sitting down and talking with Nicolas Cage about his new movie, Left Behind. And I've got some rapid reviews for the movies Believe Me and Tracks. So let's just jump right in and do this. I'm Ray.
I'm Noe, as you know.
And welcome to the podcast. All right, so the first thing we're going to be talking about today is Hector and The Search for Happiness. We just had a chance to check it out.
We did.
Well, it's basically about Simon Pegg. He plays a psychiatrist who's trying to find out a way to make his patients happy by figuring out the key to happiness. So what did you think of the film?
Well, I don't even know where to start. I mean, the whole time, it had me just engaged. It had me, at one point I was laughing, and then out of nowhere, like, just tears fall out my eyes, and then I'm just filled with excitement. And this movie just really, it made me dig deep down inside myself.
I liked this movie a lot, but I kept, like, through the whole movie, I kept thinking, like, I'm watching, like, an alternate version of The Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
See, I was gonna say that, but Secret Life of Walter Mitty sucked.
I liked Walter Mitty.
And I did not understand it. I was lost during the whole time. I'm lost during these movies.
Well, it was the same thing. He was trying to be happy. He was in a job where he was just kind of humdrum, and he didn't live.
Yeah, but I think with this one, though, I think it went on a more personal level. And I'll get personal right here, right now.
Personal moment.
I've struggled.
Brought to you by Noe.
Brought to you by State Farm. Who's not on your side right now.
They didn't pay for that.
They didn't pay for that. Well, okay, I'll get personal. So, in the past, I have struggled with depression, and I have struggled with the whole, what's happiness, what it's about. And I think this movie has really sealed it for me. And this is a movie that, honestly, I walked out of that theater and I said, this movie just changed my life. Because it gave me a lot of key points that I probably knew already, but I just needed to review. I needed to retouch those subjects. So this movie changed my life. And like how I said, one moment I was crying, the next I was laughing. It was just a great movie. I have no other reason to not give it a 10. I can't find, I was like, what can make it a 9? But this movie, to me, was a 10. A straight 10.
All right, well, I enjoyed this movie a lot. I did. I did feel like it kind of dragged in a couple places. Like, there was just some parts where I felt like this is really taking a long time to get to we're trying to get to.
Yeah, it did take a while, but I think every part mattered a lot.
No, I mean, I liked it. I love Simon Pegg. I thought he did a great job in this movie. It's nice seeing him doing something other than, like, the funny slapsticky stuff like Shaun of the Dead or Hot Fuzz. I enjoy seeing him trying to be serious. Even though, again, there was a lot of funny parts. It was a good movie. I would have to give this one a 7.
A 7? Okay. Yeah, and I think what was cool was I enjoyed, because I've always wanted to go to, like, Tokyo or Shanghai, and so...
Have you always wanted to interact with a Chinese prostitute?
See, I knew to stay away from the mafia, because I've seen, like, the Tokyo Drift, and I've seen all those, like, ninja assassin movies, but I've always wanted to
Were you waiting for Ebola to make an appearance in this movie? As
no.
a special guest cameo?
What's that hot chick that was in Charlie's Angels? The Asian one?
You were waiting for Lucy Liu to show?
I love her. I have the biggest crush on Lucy Liu. If you're watching this, call me. I'm single.
Wow. Well, Lucy Liu, we will blast his phone number for you.
No, don't do that. Oh, and don't play sad music when I got deep. Don't do that. Just keep the normal music. Marie, that's for Marie.
All right, so that was our review of Hector and The Search for Happiness. It's in theaters.
Check it out. My personal word.
All right, so up next, we are actually be talking on the phone with the one, the only Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas freaking Cage.
That's the C for Cage.
Frickin', I'm doing like Nicolas freaking.
Oh, I thought you were making a C, like this international symbol for Nicolas Cage. We're gonna be talking to him about his new movie, Left Behind.
Which he gets left behind, but
spoilers, no. Of course we know he gets left behind, otherwise it would be a really short movie. Welcome to the show, Nicolas Cage.
Welcome to the show.
Well, let's just jump right in. What was it that attracted you to this role?
Well, hi, this is Nicolas Cage, and I was just listening, and I'd like to answer that question. I was very taken by the family dynamic that plays out in the script. And that's what drew me to the project, that and an opportunity to work again with Vic Armstrong. I had a good rapport with him on another movie, so I felt that I could get to where I wanted to go with Captain Steele, because this is a person who's in an extraordinary situation and realizes really what his values are he reaches a catharsis through the experience of this extraordinary flight that he's on, and gets back to the heart, which is his relationship with his family, which is his relationship with Chloe, his daughter, which is so she's so powerful, Cassie Thompson, in the movie. And I think that's what I want. If there's anything, for me, I want that to come across, that people realize, yeah, we all make mistakes, but in a moment of crisis, what we really want, what we really go back to, is the love we have for our families.
Why say yes to a religious type movie like this one?
I just felt that the script was a challenge, and it gave me a chance to really try to make the extraordinary believable and to do something authentic within performance, so that everything around me was going into chaos. People were disappearing on the airplane, and how did I make that organic? How did I make that authentic? And again, all the actors, Chad Michael Murray, Cassie Thompson, Nikki Whalen, they were all on point, and I find that exciting. To me, it was an exercise, and I'm very happy with the results.
It seems like you take on a lot of heartfelt roles. Is that really just one of the things that kind of draws you to them?
Well, anytime I make a movie, no matter how extraordinary the circumstances of the movie, I try to come at it from a place of truth. Even if it's truth in my imagination, I don't want to act. I don't want to, because in some way that implies lying. For me, acting is trying to get to the truth of an experience in my past or in my memory, almost like an impression, and try to make it, real within a performance. Recall it and then bring it to the situation that my character finds himself in.
All right, Nicolas Cage, thank you for being with us on this show. And next week we will have our full review of Left Behind.
Thank you.
All right, now it is time for Ray's Rapid Reviews. On this segment of Ray's Rapid Reviews, we'll be covering the movie Tracks, and we will also be covering Believe Me. First up is the movie Tracks. It stars Mia Wasikowska, and she plays, it's based on a true story, she plays a woman who decides that she's sick of people and is going to take 4 camels and a dog and walk across Australia. I thought the movie was kind of slow. It had some boring parts. It was kind of interesting, again, based on a true story, and at the end you do get to see what the actual chick looks like. She made the cover of National Geographic. Overall, I have to give Tracks a sad 4, just because it's not going to be for everybody, and it kind of dragged a lot. It was about as exciting as you would think walking across Australia would be by yourself. Next up is Believe Me, which is a story about 4 guys in college who decided they are going to be pretend preachers, basically, and raise a bunch of money for college. They're basically scamming people. The movie is actually really interesting, really entertaining, and funny, up until about the very end where I felt like it kind of fell a little short. I don't know, it wasn't quite the zing that I was waiting for at the end with all this build-up. Overall, I mean, it was still entertaining. I would still recommend watching it. I give that one a solid 8.
Lecrae's on there, so check that out.
All right, Alamo City Con is coming up this weekend, and we are going to be hanging out there. We will be walking around, checking out some cosplay, doing some interviews. So be sure to check out next week for our podcast and our coverage of Alamo City Con in San Antonio this weekend.
And our crowd goes wild.
And our
crowd from straight from San Antonio.
Straight from San Antonio. The only one who's from San Antonio.
On this planet. There's only one person.
She's in the country.
Spurs won. Okay.
right, guys. Well, that pretty much covers our podcast for this week. But check us out next week. We're going to be covering reviews for The Good Lie.
From Left Behind as well.
Left Behind we'll be doing, and we'll also be covering Gone Girl, which I'm super excited about.
Because she leaves.
She leaves.
Because she's gone.
It's David Fincher's new
And she
movie.
leaves Nicolas Cage left behind.
She was raptured. That's where
She was
she went.
raptured.
We solved the movie. It's great. We don't even need to watch it.
No, you
But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. Check out HoustonFilmFanatics.com for all the great giveaways that we've got going on this week. And we will catch you guys next time.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.